Oh shit, I forgot how this works. Hello, welcome to our seance of the world of dragons in Lego. No, we're Late Night Snacks. Well, I have a Late Night Snacks. Welcome back. It's been a hot minute. We are streaming tonight to start off our new special series. That series is going to be all about the Oscars. Because if some of you guys know, every year I try to watch all the movies that are nominated for the Oscars. And I used to post it on my Facebook and just kind of little reviews and how I felt about it and everything. And, so I did something a little bit different this year. We have the channel this year. We have nothing going on the channel. We've all got stuff going on in our lives that we kind of want to relax from, de-stress from, I guess. And so here we are. Well, half of us are here. The other half of Late Night Snacks, if they're in the comments or they're watching later or want to join us at any time, please feel free. Send out your love, you guys, to Dirty Diana and Miss Irish Melly. They are around. We spoke to them recently, and everybody's doing well, from as well can be, because of all of our lives are going on. Things in lives are going on. So we're just going to kick it off. I personally was the one that directed this series to start because of some things that I'm just working through. So we need distraction. The Oscars are my favorite time of the year. The Oscars are my Super Bowl. Yep. And we're in Oscar season, baby. So, and this year is pretty... I don't know what word to describe it. This year is kind of depressing, yet interesting films, yet nothing really overly standoutish. The Academy was really making a statement against the box office and the success of superhero films and any kind of big name box office films, which this year we know pretty much down to Spider-Man. Yeah. So Tom stayed in the film industry, which if you don't give him credit, give Spider-Man and the MCU and Sony any credit, give them that. They literally single-handedly with one film really kind of saved the industry. And what I mean by that is that they gave confidence back into the industry. They showed the world, they showed citizens who weren't going to the films, they showed the movie theaters, they showed all of us that the blockbuster and those big billion-dollar productions can still exist if they're done right. And this one was done right. This one's went on to surpass $2 billion, excuse me. Tom Holland is still God. All is well in the world. No, if you haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home, I don't think we did a review on it. We did the trailer. Or did I do a review on it?
Yeah, we did. No, we haven't done we did. We did the trailer. That was our last thing,
Yeah.
So actually our last stream was actually for New Year's Eve.
Correct. Was it? I don't know. Go look at the calendar. Go look on ours. Right. But anyway, we are still Late Night Snacks. Here we are. It's late night. We don't have any snacks around. We got other surprises tonight. But we did want to introduce yourself. I am that guy with a larger family. We'll introduce in a moment. That's Miss Dewanda.
I am Dewanda, yes.
I am Overwatch.
I am the one who watches over everyone else on the team. So here I am.
Dragon up there. We'll start showing the park in all its glory. I don't know if I mentioned the park on any of our streams before. No. I don't know if I mentioned the park on any of our streams yet. May have. I don't know if I introduced that idea yet or not. When I was in Colorado is when I formed the idea. But we'll talk about it more when we kind of get there to talk about. Not tonight. We got too much on the agenda tonight. But I am still moving forward with the idea of the story-based, dragon-based amusement park. Julianne Sanchez is currently actually working on a novella or novel, junior's novel, based off my story idea for the park. It's going to be all encompassed. It's all dragon-based. It's all ride-based. It's all Lego-based. It's all crazy. but you'll get to see some of it. It's called Kainaboko is the name of the park, or Kainaboko Dragon Isles. Why Kainaboko? Those are the names of my dogs. You say, but fool, you ain't got no dog named Kai. I do. Y'all haven't met him yet. You'll meet him shortly.
Mm-hmm.
You may have seen pictures on my Facebook, but Kai is here tonight, and he is to join us if he don't die before the stream's over. Because he might. Every night it's a risk. That dog is crazy. Anybody want a puppy? I'll send it to you in the box. Just kidding. He's great, but he's a terror. So he's a lot of work. He's not Nuka. He's not Boga. He's not those dogs. This dog is a real puppy and a real handful and a half.
He is.
Kion! See what I mean?
Okay, there we go.
He's always in the mouth. Come here. Come here. We all him now. He's in trouble. Come here. Come on. Here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come here. Oh, shit.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
What's that, Kai? What's that?
I wanted to throw that in.
He's losing a broadcast. Okay, everybody. This is the majestic, the ornery, the mean, the free spirit, Kion. Say hi. Say hi to people. Wait, no, just sit straight. Say hi.
Hi, little man.
The man. Say hi to people.
Say hi to the people.
Hi. Hi. Okay. So this is Kion. He's a full-bred pug, AKC pug. He is currently 11 weeks.
Yes. I believe so, yes.
All right. I got him just size 11 weeks, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's 11 weeks.
11 weeks old. He's almost out to venture to the world. He's got to finish his vaccines. Those of you that are from Midwest or from maybe any city, I don't know, maybe every city's had this problem. Please write in. Tell us if you're watching and you know of this answer. Do all major cities have vet problems? Because, my God, this city is a fucking nightmare when it comes to vets. I have gone down the list over and over and over, just calling out vets, and I can't get an appointment for any of his checkups, any of Nuka's work. Nuka's sick right now, for a vet for over a month.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't have any appointments. They won't give shots. A vet won't see him. So I ended up giving him his shots by myself as a nurse. Give his injections so he has his shots. And
yeah,
I don't know. So if your city is having the same problem with vet appointments, then please let me know, because then I won't feel so bad. Or it's just maybe another fucked up thing that Albuquerque goes through. I don't know. Albuquerque's kind of his own demon in some things. His own food, its own culture, and its own fucking stupidity sometimes. But I don't know. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Bad breath. As bad as you.
Yep.
You want to go down? Goodbye.
Say
bye.
That's the new addition to the family, everybody.
Goodbye, Kai. Oh, yeah. Don't jump out of my feet. Here, go bye. Go, okay, bye. Don't chew on this cord. Don't. This way he's chewing on the computer cord. All right.
Obviously, he's a puppy, so he likes to chew on everything.
What's been going on in your life since we last?
What's been going on in my life? Well, I'm obviously here just trying to keep myself busy. As you can see, that guy has his amusement park in the background. That's what he uses to keep himself busy.
And they're actually kind of joined at the hip
Yes.
currently with projects, ironically.
Believe it or not, it's actually joined because as you guys know, I am an avid diamond painter. I have just started a new project, which is actually my very first landscape, which this one's going to take me a while because there's a lot that goes into it. I have literally just started it. I think I've been working on it for about a week and a half now, something like that. The last painting I did, I just finished it, is actually going to be going to that guy himself as to be interacted into his park. So that is why.
The build that I'm currently doing, that I've been doing all week, are the dragons that are in that painting.
Mm-hmm.
It's all combined. So it's gonna be a neat project once we have some stuff to flesh out and show you guys as it goes down. But a lot's going on right now.
So that is what we've been doing. I've just been basically just trying to keep myself busy, and I'm glad that we've decided to tackle the new project of the Oscars because so far it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, we have been watching every movie that we can. We had a jump start in the beginning, certain films we've seen. So that was good. And then we're watching 2 or 3 a day.
Yes.
Most of the time. Last night I got through 1. We'll talk about that one tonight.
So just so everyone knows, tonight we will be talking about biographies based on true stories.
Hi, Nuke.
So this evening we will be talking about the following films.
Number 1.
We'll be talking about Being the Ricardos, Eyes of Tammy Faye, House of Gucci, Spencer, and King Richard. So
we got King Richard, House of Gaga.
Yeah, that's what we're calling it, House of Gaga.
Anti-Diana. Batshit Tammy. And what one? Oh, Lucy. And Lucy, I'm home.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lucy.
So what we're going to do, this is the structure of what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks up into the Oscars. And we're going to cover this all the way through the Oscars. We're going to live stream the Oscars.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do a post show afterwards as a kind of wrap up. So what we're going to do the next 5 weeks is we're going to do twice a week on Sundays and Wednesdays, as was posted in our thing. And we're going to go over 5 films. That will take us through the films. We're going to have 1 episode where we're going to do the 15 shorts. We're going to talk about the 15 shorts. That's short live action film, short documentary, and short animated film. And then we're going to have a live streaming. Then we're going to have a final episode before the Oscars of snubs, controversies, crazy ass picks, what we think will win, what should win, what Hollywood's saying is going to win, what critics are saying is going to win. You know, the whole prediction, last prediction show.
And we're hoping you guys can join us for it because it's going to be a lot of fun. Yes,
you know, if you like what you're hearing, or you're interested in hearing about some of these movies but can't watch them yourself, we're watching them so you don't have to. Or so that we can tell you which ones are decent enough to watch based off our opinion. Again, our opinions like assholes. Everybody has one. Everybody's an asshole. But we are going to give you our honest opinion about it as film buffs, as somebody who's done this year after year after year, and what I think it means for myself and what I kind of think it means for the Oscars and what they're trying to say. Because, you know, if you've never learned this before, the Oscars in particular has a lot of politics around it. There's a lot of backstage politics and deals and backstabbing and a lot of scandal that goes on with the Oscars, because the Oscars is the most prominent title you can put onto anything. Once you put that on an actor, say, or a director or a film, it changes the course of history for that person or that industry or company or whatever. It's life-changing. And the Academy is not a full-body voting panel. It is a number. There's a certain number of people in the Academy hand-selected to be in the Academy. And so it's really not a representation of the people. It's not even a representation of the box office or of popularity. It is a representation of those select people and what they decide they want representing the Academy's name moving forward. So that's why you see a lot of older type films. That's why you don't see a lot of superhero films, space films, you know, things like that, because the Academy just doesn't favor them. They'll favor more something about Hollywood or about medieval England or something way over they will over Spider-Man or Star Wars. So even though I wouldn't put Star Wars on my toilet paper right now, but that's a whole other story.
That's neither here nor there.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do those episodes, 5 films, twice a week for 5 weeks, 1 shorts episode, 1 wrap-up episode. We're going to stream the Oscars, the entire show, pre-show and show. And then we're going to have a post-wrap-up show talking about what got snubbed, what won, what should have won, how we felt about it, who wore the best dress, who farted on stage, whatever went down. I mean, sometimes there's some crazy shit goes down at the Oscars, and sometimes it's absolutely, utterly boring. If it's absolutely, utterly boring, I'll tell you it was. A lot of people are not watching the Oscars anymore. Last year, I didn't even know it was on. The night it was on.
I know, I didn't either.
First time in Oscar in my adulthood that I missed the Oscars, and I was baffled. I was absolutely baffled myself. This year, we're going all out so that we don't miss it.
No.
So tonight, like Dawn said, we're going to cover the films, the key films that were based off of real life events. There are others, and they're going to fall in. We kind of group them differently, such as like Tick Tick Boom, things like that. We're grouping them differently, but they are still biographical.
Yes.
We're not going to do them in this. This is just the 5 kind of films that are really about that biography, not saying really anything else. It's just about that biography, about that story. So we're going to kick it off with 2 films that I think that are most compared, most similar, and also have a hand in kind of competing each other out in certain award categories. One's going to win over the other, and it's kind of up in the air, both ways, because they're both equally good. And first off, before I get into that, there's a form, and we have it in our comments, I believe.
And if we don't, if I believe I may have forgotten to put it there, but when we're done, I will make sure that it is in our description so you guys can check it out. So
what this is this is a form I follow up every year for the last several years, and that is a movie checklist, which is done by thegoldennite.com, their website. And what they do is they compile a list that I used to compile by hand. Now they do it for us. And it's got a lot of information on here. If you're trying to get through these movies, or trying to get through certain movies of certain categories, or trying to see what's streaming and what you have to buy, what you have to go to the theater in, it's all on here. For example, it will tell you the name of the film, the type of film that it's being classified as. And then it will show a little code beside it, and it's highlighted yellow. You can't see it on the stream here, but it'll tell you what streaming network it is on. Yes. Or it'll have a $sign, meaning you can buy the digital copy or DVD of it, but it's not streaming. Or it'll have a T, which means it's only in theaters. Sometimes you'll have a $sign and a T nowadays, meaning you can buy it on streaming or buy it on digital and see it in theaters still. A la Shang-Chi. Sometimes there's playing some dollar theaters around. I don't know. It doesn't say. Oh no, it just has a $sign now. Oh, it's on Disney Plus. What am I talking about? That's a bad example. Anyway, sometimes it has multiple codes, meaning you can stream it, buy it, and still go to the theater for it. Whatever. Nowadays, movies are distributed differently.
Depending on what you would like to do. Yeah.
It's got all the streaming platforms, the major streaming platforms that all these films are streaming on: Amazon, Apple TV, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Hulu, Netflix, Paramount Plus, Showtime, in theaters or video on demand, which means buying it streaming, either from iTunes or Google or Amazon. That's the digital copy is what it is. And then it also will go through in each film, tell you how many awards it's nominated for and what categories it's nominated for. Okay. So we're starting out with 2 films that are very similar, and that is being the Ricardos, which is about Lucille Ball and Ricky Ricardo and their relationship. Desi Arnaz. Ricky Ricardo with Desi Arnaz. And it takes place in their relationship after Lucy was a big success, and they're kind of in the endish kind of stage of the I Love Lucy show. Things have dramatically changed. They've opened up their own production house. Their marriage is already strained. And so really this film, what it stands out for is the performances. And that's what it's being looked at for awards is, how did Nicole Kidman do? How did, who's it? Javier Bardem, and then J.K. Simmons. And then the other lady who played, what's the fuck's her name? Doris? No, what's her name?
Oh, the one that played Ethel?
Ethel. God, Doris.
Doris. I cannot remember her name.
It's really those 4 performances.
It's those 4 performances.
That I looked at. Only 3 of them were nominated, unfortunately. I don't know why the woman who played Ethel was not nominated. It's pretty devastating because I would hate to be singled out like that when it's a 4 opinion. I would say J.K. Simmons was the one that should have been overlooked, if anybody, because J.K. Simmons was just J.K. Simmons. He's fantastic, but he really wasn't that character. It was J.K. Simmons. Whereas everybody else really embodied the character. Nicole Kidman, I will say this right from the jump, Nicole Kidman is the front runner to win Best Actress this year. And the reason I personally believe that Nicole Kidman is being put up in front of all these other women that are nominated, they are all fantastic performances via one. She had to do 2 roles. And she was very distinct in both roles. She was better as Lucille Ball than she was Lucy. I think personally, and the way I looked at the performance, I thought her Lucy came off Saturday Night Live-ish, if that's a fair assumption to say. Very impersonationist, not just, and then, but yet her Lucille Ball, it was Nicole Kidman really acted the shit out of that role.
Right.
I think it's the duality of the role and how that role carried that entire movie is why she's being looked at as a front runner. It's also Nicole's year. I don't think she's won yet. Has she? She won the Golden Globes. I don't know.
I am not. Shit. I don't think so. I could be wrong.
She may have won for that Western. I look it up. I may eat my words again. I'll correct that if I'm wrong, because I haven't used the phone tonight, so I can't look it up real quick. But she's an Oscar darling. You know, she's nominated a lot. You know, just like Meryl Streep and countless other women who are constantly nominated. They're Oscar darlings. But this is her year to win. Now, I personally think if she gets upset, it will be by this next actress, and that's Batshit Tammy, which is
The Eyes of
Tammy Faye. And the eyes of, well, first off, being the Ricardos is an Apple.
No, being the Ricardos is Amazon.
Amazon exclusive. It's an Amazon exclusive movie. So this is not even a theatrical release. This is an Amazon release. So it's very interesting. Now, all of these movies, all these feature films, had to see the theater one day. And I think the rule is they have to see the theater one day on each coast. I believe. I could be wrong. Could just be one day, one city, but it has to play in a theater house in order to be considered. It's an old rule. It's a rule that kind of was redefined when streaming came out, especially really redefined when this whole COVID mess happened. And that's the rule that they're standing by now. It has to play in a theater house, and they play real quick, gone. It's kind of like for a screening or a award show or something, and they're done. It goes back to this platform, which is fine. I love having a lot of these Oscar films on platforms because there's surprisingly a huge amount on this list that is available at your fingertips right now.
Yeah.
Over half of them, I believe.
And it's great. It really is. It just means that it's
by March 27th, I think all of them will be available.
A vast amount of people, which is nice. Because not everybody.
I think by the 27th, all of them will be available, which has not happened in most years. So that's pretty exciting. So that was Lucy. Now we're on to Batshit Tammy, which is the story of Tammy Faye Baker and her.
The Eyes of Tammy. It's The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Batshit crazy.
That's the actual title.
The bitch was crazy. Okay, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. This chick was okay. I'll get there in a minute. I don't want to side rail. Eyes of Tammy Faye are batshit crazy Tammy. This story is about from before her and Baker met.
Jim Baker.
Yeah. Their marriage, all their little crazy ass cult TV shows, all the way to the end, the implosion, the embezzlement of money, the separation, the divorce, and her restarting her hand and trying to restart her hand in Hollywood with her fucking crazy ass puppet show. Yes. Now I don't know any historical accuracy of any of this. I just have prejudgment over Tammy Faye and Jim because of what you saw on sensationalism and on the grocery store rags during the time and rumors and gossip. I didn't follow them. I didn't grow up in any type of religious sect of any sort in our family. So I don't even think I'm atheist. I'm just not. It's not about belief system for me. It just doesn't exist in my life. So there's no judgment pass, but it's not something I was exposed to. We didn't watch Christian TV. We didn't watch any of these access to any of these shows when I was growing up. So I'm looking at this as somebody with a prejudgment over these two people based off of gossip that you heard constantly your whole life and what they were presenting me on the screen. What they presented me on the screen was the stupidest woman on the planet. I have to say. I'm sorry. They played this like Tammy Faye knew nothing, and I call bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you're in that kind of environment for that long and in control of your own production company that had multi-million dollars coming in that you were able to embezzle, and you and your husband were joint producing these things, your husband did not keep all of this from you 100% of the time.
Yeah, there was no way she didn't know what was going on.
And they played it as if she didn't know what was going on. Hey, guys, come on, leave him alone. Oh, he's okay. they played it like she was innocent. And she knew what was going on. And she was the victim. She knew about his affairs. She knew about something of the money, even if she didn't know exactly what the investment was about. She knew.
Mm-hmm.
She knew the shows were changing. She knew that her ideas were being swept under the rug when she kind of was driving and running these shows. She was not as stupid as they made her out to be, and that was a shame. And I feel bad for Tammy Faye if that's really the wrong impression that they gave the American people about portraying this. Now, was the performance bad? Fuck no. The performance was fantastic.
Oh.
This is Jessica Chastain, who was completely unrecognizable in this role.
Oh.
I could not have told you that it was Jessica Chastain unless somebody told me prior hand that she was the one that's playing Tammy Faye. Completely unrecognizable. Yeah. From the start of the film to the end of the film, I saw nothing of Jessica Chastain. Yeah. Nothing.
This is being shown on HBO. Okay. It's been nominated for Best Actress for Jessica Chastain and for Best Makeup.
So obviously for the Tammy Faye makeup and for the aging of Andrew Garfield. Let's talk about Andrew for a second. Because we got to mention Andrew. Andrew is in 2 of the nominated films this year. He is in this one, and he was not nominated for this one.
No.
He is in the musical Tick Tick Boom, which we'll talk about when we do our musical edition of this show. And Tick Tick Boom was the kind of pre-thought to a semi-weird, quasi-autobiographical first piece of work that Jonathan Larson did. Jonathan Larson's creator of Rent. Lin-Manuel Miranda, who did Hamilton, came in and reworked Jonathan's work to make it the autobiographical story of Jonathan Larson. And Andrew plays Jonathan Larson. He's fantastic. He's fantastic in both roles. Yes. His Jim Baker was sleazy, cowardly, everything that I think Jim Baker really was. I think they got him right in the writing. I think he was every bit of a, douchebag that he was. Sorry, Jim Baker. Is he decent? No, he's still alive. Tammy Faye's dead.
They're both dead.
No, I think Jim Baker's still alive, wasn't he?
Nope.
It said the movie. Oh, well, fuck it. I don't know. If he's still alive, sorry. If he's dead, sorry about it too. Hey! You okay, Nuke? His tail's wagging. He's fine.
He's fine.
Nico's putting on a sick act tonight.
We have a visitor. So, who's here?
Who's this?
White Man Productions.
What up,
How you doing? What up?
Welcome back. Welcome back. Late night stuff.
Yes. Here we are.
But welcome. Teach you a little bit about keeping the tone down.
Yep.
Right place. Just kidding.
Welcome. We know you're excited. We're glad you're here.
So we're talking Oscars. In case you hadn't heard, in case you were just sitting here listening to me ramble, and as I usually do, we're talking the Oscars. We're going to be doing this for the next 5 freaking weeks.
5 weeks. Twice a week.
You'll see this.
So we hope you
guys.
Some
days I'll do my hair, other days I won't. Whatever. Just some days I'll look like Mel Brooks in Young Frankenstein.
The next movie we are going to talk about this evening is The House of Gucci, or what we're calling it, The House of Gaga. Okay, now to explain this movie is all about.
Wait, we didn't say what was being Ricardos was nominated for. It was nominated just for the 4 acting categories: actor, supporting actor.
It's not. It's nominated for the 3.
The three of the 4 nominated. Yeah.
Yeah, Being Ricardos has 3 nominations for Best Actor, Best Actress, and Supporting Actor.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, Eyes of Tammy Faye has 2 nominations, one for Jessica Chastain for actress, and also for makeup and hairstyling.
I think Batshit Crazy deserves it over Nicole Kidman. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. So now
because you know how much I hated that shit. I hated her.
I know.
But that was the point, I think.
So now we're gonna move on to House of Gucci, or what we're calling House of Gaga. Which I have to say, and I'm not trying to ruin anything here, but I personally think that Gaga's performance was incredible.
Robbed. We'll talk about why she was robbed in a minute.
Yeah, we will talk about that. However, we're now going to talk about the Gucci family. The Gucci family, they are very power hungry, shall we say? very into money. The interesting thing is that now there is no Gucci that owns Gucci now. None of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Who owns it? Chinese?
They were bought out by, God, I can't remember off the top of my head.
Come on, get it together.
They were bought out by another company, and now they're running Gucci.
Oh,
There's no one running Gucci now.
there's still Gucci stores and stuff, right?
Oh yeah, Gucci's still in stores and everything, but there's a lot of knockoffs and things like that are happening, and basically the family got nailed for tax evasion and all kinds of things. So
Things be running through in these.
yeah, it's a really good movie. It tells a lot.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, it tells a lot about
where'd it go?
What's going on
Can you
with
see me?
No, I cannot.
Oh.
No one can see you right now. Okay.
Hi.
There he is. He's back. I do recommend this movie. It's very well done. The actors in this movie are great because we have Jared Leto. We have Lady Gaga, of course. She is phenomenal in this. And then of course we have Adam Driver. Can't go wrong with him. And of course Al Pacino, who plays the uncle who basically gets arrested for tax evasion, for not paying his taxes. So yes, this is a very
the other
well acted.
Who's hidden? Huh? The other one who's you don't recognize.
Oh, I know. The one you don't recognize the most has to be Jared Leto, because wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And let's see.
And Jeremy Irons in this?
Huh? Jeremy
Irons?
Yeah, Jeremy Irons, I didn't even recognize him. He plays
that's what I'm talking about.
He plays Fabrizio's father. He's basically the head of Gucci.
Another one that's lost in the performance.
Yeah. I didn't even recognize him when I was watching it, but I got completely enthralled. I didn't realize that family had so many problems until I watched this. Because honestly, I didn't know anything about the Gucci family until I watched this movie.
First time.
And Gaga was kind of like the outsider that married into the family, and she became greedy and wanted everything, pretty much. But she did an amazing job. I'm not going to spoil the ending for those.
Well, if you know the Gucci story, you would know the ending.
But if you know the Gucci story, you know what happened. I'm not going to spoil it for those who don't know anything about it. But I do suggest that you do watch this movie, and I do think that I'm going to put it out there. I think Gaga was robbed.
We'll talk about that tonight.
But we'll talk about that. Now, as far as
let's talk about it now. Hold up.
Well,
we're going to talk about it now.
We can talk about it now.
Yeah, because we were talking about King Richard last. And there's a reason why we're talking about King Richard last.
Well, yeah, because we still have two more that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
So,
two.
And here's the interesting thing. House of Gucci was only nominated for one award.
Song.
Which is makeup and hairstyling. That's it.
Robbed.
Yes. So.
Well, the film was really, really panned by the critics. The film was pretty much destroyed before it was out the gate because the critics really hated it. It's another film this year, which pretty much is all of them except for Spider-Man, had an abysmal box office.
Right.
Gucci didn't do well, but nothing did well in the box office besides Spider-Man. So you can't really judge that. But the critical review before it even came out, it was slammed. The movie was destroyed.
Slammed big time. So, and House of Gucci is currently in theaters, and you can purchase it for download.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Just recently, last week, Gucci came out.
Mm-hmm.
On streaming, and looks like Licorice Pieces is getting ready to come out now.
Yeah.
Because digital copies coming out. So, where's my soapbox? I know you're watching this tomorrow. Here goes that guy raving. Everybody hashtag that guy's still raving.
That guy's still, yep.
Still raging.
I should have I got to change it so we have the hashtag soapbox. Here we go.
Here we go. I need to break my soapbox out of storage here, dust the bitch off because I got a lot. So far, this is the only.
Hi,
what's up,
Blaze?
This is the only soapbox moment I've had so far this award season. But let me tell you, it's a big one.
Yeah.
Because, first off, little bit of history on that guy. I spent my formative years, my growing up years in England during the 80s, during the rise and fall of Diana. I saw the marriage of Diana on TV. I met Charles and Diana on the street.
Wait a minute, we're not talking about Spencer yet.
We are. We're talking about Spencer and King, and then
you wanted to talk about Gaga for a second, or did you change your mind on that?
Gaga?
Okay, I got confused on that. Now we're moving on to the next movie, which is Spencer.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about Gaga here about that, but let's get to it first. Yeah. So, in a nutshell, I have a lot of growing up around this culture that this movie's trying to represent badly, and I felt going into this film, we both tried to watch it originally. It was one of the first films we tried to watch, and I got about 3 minutes into it, and I turned it off. I said, "This is going to be a crock of shit." And true enough, it was. I watched the whole thing. I actually watched it on my phone last night. Was it last night?
Yeah.
In the bathtub, ranting and raving at 1 o'clock in the morning.
And just so everyone knows, we're currently talking about the movie Spencer.
Which is
about Lady Diana.
Which is Diana. Diana was named Diana Spencer at birth. That was her real name before she became a Royal Highness in a Windsor and all this garbage. She was Spencer, and they call it in the movie. I don't remember if this is actually historically correct. It might be. It doesn't matter. But they refer to her father as Spencer, as the man Spencer, this is their last name, but that's how they kind of refer to her father. This movie takes place all in like the same like event. It's a Christmas at Balmoral, which is the Queen's and Philip's getaway per se, out in the country. That the royal family, the Windsors anyway, the royal family, they go off every kind of holiday season and basically do a little camp out at this little camp out my ass at this big freaking estate. It's kind of like a home away from home. It's a little tiny mini kind of non-bougie Buckingham Palace, which is basically it's almost like a farm / housing estate kind of thing, and it's basically just a place for the royal family to go because they don't have a lot of places to go except for world tours and shit. But when they're in England, they're either Buckingham Palace or they're queening and doing laundry. So this event takes place. I don't remember exactly what 80s year this was, but the boys were Harry was already a preteen probably at this time.
Yeah.
Probably 12-ish, and William was a young teenager, this very young teenager, probably 14, 15, maybe a little younger. So it was around that time, Christmas time, basically. Yeah. It was over the weekend of Christmas time where they were having the event at Balmoral, and they tried to play it off as, which is true to an extent, but not ever presented this way. Now, I have never attended a Windsor family function. They have not invited me yet. Yo, Queen, before you croak, I need my invitation. So I don't have first-hand knowledge. I'll talk about my ass when I sit there and say they was not like this. What I know of Balmoral now and Balmoral in the 1980s, 90s, 2000s, Balmoral's been modernized. Okay, it's not Queen Victoria's estate. It's not anything like New York City kind of modernized, but it's been modernized. It's got modern amenities. It's got a little bit of a downplayed staff. I think the best movie that showcased Balmoral, a theatrical film, was the one about it was called The Queen, the one about Elizabeth when she was older, and there's a whole big it's dealt with Diana as well, Diana's death at the time, but they did that whole thing kind of Balmoral. It's Queen's favorite place from what I understand, or at least it's a comforting family place for him. So anyways, whole thing takes place here.
Right.
And it's really about the fall of Diana. The fall of Diana happened the day she stepped foot in Buckingham Palace, in my opinion. But
yeah,
those who don't know a little bit of history, Charles was betrothed or in love with Camilla way back in the day, before Diana was even a thought. Camilla was not royal enough or suited in the right family structure enough to marry Charles, as Charles is going to be the King of England. Remember, if you are the next in line reigning monarch, your entire life, even about how you shit, is planned out for you. I mean, it is all done up in pomp and circumstance. It's all done up in tradition, and the Windsors, especially over any family. If you watch The Crown on Netflix, they really their first season really goes into that tradition thing, and why the tradition changes these people as they move along. And Charles changed recently, really changed to that tradition mode. William is now changing into that tradition mode. And so anybody that's the next reigning monarch really gets focused and trained and schooled and set forth on that real staunch, stoic tradition thing. And so Camilla wasn't good enough for Charles or didn't fit that structure. They wanted somebody more royal. They wanted somebody more appealing to the people. They wanted somebody more beautiful. Sorry about it, but that's what they're asking for. It wasn't who Charles loved. Charles loved Camilla. I don't blame him. Diana and Charles should have never, ever been in the same room together. It was an arrangement. It was a disaster from the start. It was cruel almost to both of them. It was cruel on those boys. And it ultimately ended in kind of the end stage of life of Charles in his just non-existence type phase. And it also ended in Diana's death, unfortunately. All of this calls from this union, this marriage. Charles is doing well now. I think he's much happier with Camilla. They saw the love. They refer back to the Tudor period when, Henry basically split the church multiple times in Parliament to just marry the people that he wanted to marry. And Charles is up marrying Camilla. Camilla is going to be Queen Regent. I believe she's not going to, our princess is something, but she's not going to get a queen title. She's not going to get a royal title out of this. So it's kind of a compromise to something or other. But it's, so this one weekend, I tend too long because I hate this movie so much. This one weekend portrayed Diana as a crazy, psychotic, falling apart bitch. She was rude to everybody, including her two sons.
I know.
She was absolutely disconnected with anything and everything the family was doing. She was disconnected with herself. She was disconnected with her sanity. None of these things that I know of Diana in history.
No.
Diana was always first and foremost. She may have been depressed and she may have been absolutely miserable, but she presented herself in public. She presented herself in front of that family. Then she may not have always done what they wanted her to do, but she was not sitting at the dinner table having fucking psychotic breaks.
No.
They would have had her locked up. And the movie focused so much on that. The way she spoke to her kids, she spoke in such a condescending way to these boys, as if the boys were stupid in Diana's eyes.
Yeah.
And
she
my
never
God, that was the farthest thing from the truth about Diana. Those boys were everything to her.
She never treated her
entire life. And I was just offended. I was appalled. It wasn't just Diana's characterization. I think every single person except for Anne was cast horribly wrong in this. They were all presenting their royal so unlike. I mean, this was like a crazy ass third psyche dramatization of Diana's
like
life.
A slap in the face.
And it was not fair. It's presented as a biography. It's really not fair. If you want some good knowledge, a good overtone of the royal family, the Windsors, when Diana was around, watch the current season of The Crown. I mean, show is respectful to that entire family. They get the queen on down. It shows how they're all damaged as people, but how they're all respected as people. It's an amazing show. It's very historically in line. I would say correct. It is in line with what they really present themselves to the public. Again, not a lot of people really know. I mean, this is one of the most private families in the universe. So who knows what goes on really behind closed doors? I mean, you have services and stuff report on that every once in a while, but come on now. She wasn't sitting there having psychotic breaks at the dinner table. Diana was a lot more together than that. Yeah. Diana was severely anxious and severely depressed at that time. And that even did play out in the press. That even did play out in medical reports. But not this crazy bullshit that they present in this movie. And
now we have
music. The music to this was the most aggravating factor of this entire film. If you've not watched this film or anything, watch this film because this film is going to go down in history for just this soundtrack. And this soundtrack was so freaking Twilight Zone horrific, and in the HORR word, horror, that they really wanted to try and build up the suspense and this angst that Kristen Stewart was not able to give the audience. So they gave the audience this emotion through this crazy ass obnoxious music. I mean, the music goes louder than all the performances at times. It's shattering to the ears if you're watching it in headphones, and it's nothing pleasant. It's all the shit you would hear in a Psycho Ward or a haunted house or something. It's this movie. If there's any movie this year to pass on, it's passed on this, just simply because to me this movie was offensive. It was offensive to that family. It was offensive to me as somebody that grew up there. It was offensive to me as somebody that loved this, the whole history of this family, and just of another human being. This is offensive to Diana, and her memory shouldn't need this film. No. And I'm sorry, Kristen Stewart should have turned this shit down, because in my opinion, Kristen Stewart really damaged her career with this. And let's the fucking Academy give her an Oscar. And let me tell you why she's nominated. She's nominated to piss off Gaga.
Yep.
And because the Academy is not real in line with Gaga. There's a lot of different rumors about why that is. We'll talk about that in our gossip show. But not only Gaga, so far of all the movies we've seen, in almost every single feature film, there has been a lead actress more deserving than Kristen Stewart to sit in that chair that night. And the reason why Kristen Stewart is sitting in that chair that night is because her representation of Diana and her performance was so fucking abysmal that it's a blatant fact in front of your face. Why is this bitch sitting there? Nothing against Kristen Stewart. I'm sure she's probably cool. She's kind of, but she's done great things. I have liked her in some stuff, but this is an affront. This was a statement by the Academy to make a statement about how they're personally snubbing Gaga. That's our first controversy of the night. And she may win it. She may win it because the Academy really may want to stick it to Gaga. And if Kristen Stewart wins it, we're going to have another fucking Keanu Reeves on our hand. Or another freaking, what's the other douchebag's name? Nicolas Cage. People who can act. Sorry. Don't shoot the messenger. Nick Cage and Nicolas, they cannot act. Great men, especially Nicolas Cage. A freaking phenomenal entrepreneur. Does phenomenal work with his cast and his crew, and he's just one. They call him the nicest guy in Hollywood. You can be as nice. You can be Santa Claus nice. You can't act, and you don't deserve these big roles that they're getting, but they get them because they've been placed in certain positions throughout their career. Bless their hearts. And Kristen Stewart will be placed in that position after this if she wins this award. She wins this award, my phone's going through the TV. Because what a statement that the Academy's going to make. Anyway, that's my soapbox. I'm dusting off for another episode. So the last film is the best of these five.
Oh my God. This is the one that so far, I don't know. It has to be our favorite right now.
Yeah, for me, hands down. This film of all the Best Picture nominees, this film deserves to win for me right now.
Yes, and I agree because this was a phenomenal film all the way around. Highly recommended. If you haven't seen it, please watch this film.
What do you say the name? It's King Richard with Will Smith.
Yes.
And it's not about Shakespeare's King Richard or England's King Richard, whichever number that may be. This is about Richard, the father of Venus and Serena Chacha.
Serena Williams.
That's Jack Girl. Venus and Serena, the tennis players. I mean, I'm kidding, but the tennis players that
Venus and Serena Williams. This is the story of not only them, but their father.
The whole family, basically.
The whole family.
But it really focuses on the father.
Which his performance was just phenomenal. They're saying that this is his year.
This is Will. I'm not a huge Will Smith fan. I think the Smiths have gotten bigger for their britches. They're a little eccentric. They're a little crazy. But this performance as an actor, this is his career-defining performance.
Yes.
It's not a mockery. It's not a Saturday Night Live performance. It is a real man performance with real emotion behind it, with a real drive behind it, that is almost so close to the original, the real father, but it's still Will Smith doing his work, embodying the nature of this father without trying to mock or mimic the father. And they show what I like about this film that a lot of documentary films do, or biography of films do, is they show a lot of real footage at the end, especially with people who are modern days. And this film had a good, throughout the entire ending credits, this film had a whole reel of everything that we saw in the movie, but of home videos of the real family. And Will Smith, my God, he had this man down in his own way. And it's amazing. But all of the performances in this film, this is another actress I'm talking about. Kristen Stewart sitting in that chair. The woman who played the mother in this, and I forget her name.
Her name is
God, she's amazing.
Her name is Anjanou Ellis, and she was also nominated.
Oh, they got supporting.
She was nominated for supporting actress.
Oh well, hell, then they didn't qualify best actress. I think she should have been in the best actress category.
Let me go down the nominations for this film, because this film got 6 nominations. We got Best Picture, Best Actor for Will Smith,
which she's the front runner.
Which he is the front runner for that. Anjanou Ellis for Supporting Actress.
That's weird. I would put her at Best Actress, but okay.
I know. I agree.
And that's the studio. That is the studio that, by the way, in case you didn't know how the rules work, the studio of these films, they present whatever they want to present in whatever category they're trying to present it to the Academy. Yes. And the Academy then picks its nominations. They don't present.
And then the rest of them is film editing, original song for Being Alive for Beyonce.
Oh, we're going to talk about that when we get to song. My God. That song, it's amazing.
Writing original screenplay.
So here's how this year's politics of the Academy is going to play out. It's going to be very interesting. Everything's going to be split, they think. There's either going to be a split across the board, or there's going to be a clean sweep. It's going to be one or the other. It's not going to be like chunks. There's going to be a Best Picture winner, a separate Best Director winner, a separate actor winner. Basically, they're going to honor 5 or 6 films that are all deserving this year in their own place. Screenwriting, directing, the 2 acting categories, and the film itself will fall 2 different films if the prediction is correct on the Oscars this year. It's just what falls where and how it falls. That's what's hard to make predictions about, because there are several films that we've already seen and more to come that deserve Best Picture. There are acting performances that they're right away from Best Actress. I would call the ones that were actually nominated. What in the hell? Oh, it's a cat.
That's my cat. Yes. Let's join the party. Come on.
I would say there's 2 leading actresses that could take it. In the song category, and we're going to get there when we get to song. I think they made a huge mistake with submitting the Encanto song that they submitted, because I think Lynn gets shut out by Beyonce from this film, because what this song does is the song plays over the end credits, which is not favored a lot in for a lot of critics, but the emotion behind the song, the words of the song, captures everything that you just watched. Whereas the Encanto one that Lynn does, that Lynn's nominated for, kind of just takes the movie out, and it doesn't really grab you by the heart. I mean, this Beyonce song kicked me in the nuts at the end of this film, because this film is not a downer. This film is I'm not a big sports guy.
It's very uplifting, the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm not a very big sports guy. I play Lego. I play PlayStation. I don't play anything else. Well, I play life. But this sports film was probably the best sports film that I've ever seen, and the most inspirational sports film I've ever seen. And that's saying for a lot for a guy that doesn't know sports. I knew who Serena Cha-Cha and I'm Your Venus was. I knew these girls from tennis, but I didn't know the whole family. It was this huge family. They're all aspiring tennis stars, and the 2 were born later because the other ones didn't quite get it.
Yeah.
And the father was society wanted to paint the father as kind of a Jackson, Mr. Jackson. What was his name? Crazy Ass Jackson's father. They wanted to paint him like that, because he wasn't.
because they all thought that he was very controlling, but he knew what he wanted. He had a plan, and that was exactly how they were gonna.
That
They were
is
gonna do it.
amazing that this man accomplished the plan. He wrote this plan when these two little girls were little girls before they even really started tennis. He wrote out a plan for their life, and kind of as controlling it was a plan for the ultimate success of their life, and both of them achieved it and more. And it was just like, and the plan fell in place in the timely manner that he wrote that plan was supposed to fall in place. And when something was getting accelerated, the father would pull back and say, "It's not in the plan now. That's 6 years down the line."
Nope.
And he would make people wait. I was like, wow, what tenacity, what absolute faith in your own plan, faith in your own family, faith in your own girls. And I think the most powerful scene in this film, not to spoil it, but there's a scene when CPS or some of the authorities come in, whatever authority it was, to check out the children because somebody in the neighborhood had complained that he was too controlling, possibly beating them. The girls were out late at night.
Right. They were out practicing in the rain or something like that.
Yeah, and so they came in to check on these black children, and boy, does Will Smith go off, or the father go off on this inspection. And I was on my feet just applauding. I was like, to have the power that you have in your family in the most positive way, he had every right to stand up and do what he did. And not have any, any fallback from that. It's an amazing performance. Hope. I'd like to see this so far. Yeah. I'd like to see this film take it. Granted, this is Will Smith's career-changing role, but this film as a whole really deserves it. And if they give it to the film and to Will Smith, hands down, it's deserving.
And the entire cast was just amazing.
Even the kids, the guys that played the coaches, just all these people representing real people. And again, not a mockery, not a Saturday Night Live mockery.
No, not at all.
Real actors portraying real people in the best embodiment that they can. And all of it was A+ acting, absolute talent, and real emotions. I mean, it really got me. Really, really got me. It is hands down, besides Spider-Man doesn't count. I'm biased. We'll talk about Tom when we get to Tom. He's so God. Get it over. But of all the films we've seen, besides Tom, again, this film is my favorite film.
Yeah, so far. Yeah.
We're going to talk about some other really good films as the days progress. Films I absolutely loved. There's only been one film that I hated that I couldn't get through, and that was Spencer. And I did get through it.
Yeah.
I almost didn't get through life after that, but it's not that. It is that bad, but it's not. Just ignore it. If you don't want to sit through that nonsense and you want to take my advice, then just pretend it doesn't exist. Go back to little Bella and the vampire fucking bitch and let her be that. Forget this Diana nonsense because it's bad. It's really bad.
And it's not entirely her fault.
No, it's not. It's how it's written.
Yeah, it was how it was written.
Kristen is not a seasoned performer. She's not classically trained. She's not any of these things. She is she's a director's performer. She needs to be told what to do and how to do it and why to do it. This was written this way. She was told to do it this way. She probably had no education, no insight on Diana. She probably studied up on some stuff right the last bit because she was all excited. She got a role. Let me tell these young women in Hollywood, if somebody offers you the role of Princess Diana, say no. Don't embarrass yourself. Somebody's got to do it, obviously, when they do biopics, but let the high-grade theater professionals take over that nonsense. Let an unknown who is trained in classical theater do Diana. Yeah. Don't pick out freaking Kristen Chenoweth or freaking, Kristen Stewart or freaking Oprah Winfrey, whatever. Don't pick these famous people just to do. What the hell? What was that?
I don't know.
Was that you?
No.
I was outside my house.
Your house.
Lock him
up. Okay. So these are the films that we wanted to talk about this evening. We will be back on Wednesday to discuss some more. We hope that you guys will join us to do that because we're going to we'll pretty much break down every film that we possibly can before the Oscars and then some. So check back with us on Wednesday. I'll have everything updated and everything.
Did we already decide Wednesday?
That you need. What?
Did we decide Wednesday?
Not yet, but we will. So If you like what we're talking about and everything along those lines, please give us a like and subscribe, because we're always looking for new people. We love the discussion. So we will see you guys on
Anybody
Wednesday.
want a dog? I can send him in a little cardboard box. He's a terror.
And yes, there's our other mascot. All right, everybody. You guys have a great night, and we will see you guys on Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.